Hello, my fearless family. How is everyone doing today? So today it's going to be a voiceover. I'm not cutting on the camera because I'm really relaxed. I'm back off of vacation. Kind of got caught a little bit in that whole, outage at the airport. Thank goodness, I made it home. So yes, almost got caught in it, you guys, but I'm back home. I'm working and I'm at my office, and so I was, as usual, per usual, just catching up, and Navy Fed popped up in my feed, and I decided I wanted to go over and do just a little bit of investigation, not too much, because I wanted to share this with you guys and watch it with you. So if you know about this in depth, or you've been following it, or maybe you've seen some other YouTubers videos and you got a little bit more insight on this, go ahead and comment below. Let's talk about this. I talk about how to build business credit and personal credit, but it would make sense for me not to address the don'ts as well as the do's. So today is a don't. Like, we're not going to commit any type of fraud, okay? I like being able to go. I like to be able to do what I want to do, and I do not break the law. Absolutely do not break the law. I always make sure that I stay within the law and principles over here on this channel. So if you're new again, thank you and welcome. So let's just go over here and take a look at the news broadcast.
Top story, Columbus police giving us new details tonight on a Columbus financial institution employee who is accused of fraud crimes adding up to nearly $1 million. A scary scenario, as most of us want to trust our money is safe at banks. Newsletter 9's Gabriella Johnson joins us live in studio after learning more about this arrest from the property crimes detective on the case. Gabriella, banks, have tough security, so how did this employee slip through the cracks?
Well, Jason, Columbus detectives say he committed his crimes under the noses of surveillance cameras and courtesy officers, using legitimate customers at his desk during regular hours as he covered up while he deposited fake checks, opened car loans, and sent money to himself. Now, Steve Verrett, former Navy Federal Credit Union employee, is in the Muskogee County Jail.
We really don't know how big this is.
Columbus Police Property and Violent Crimes units made an arrest in a fraud investigation they got wind of several months ago.
It started with a call from North Carolina, detective in North Carolina. They were working some check fraud cases, and the checks were being funneled through a bank account, and the account holder lived here in Columbus.
That led to the person whose account the check traced back to reaching out to police saying they didn't commit a crime.
Started putting some things together, and that led us to the Navy Federal Credit Union employee actually being the one that was depositing the checks.
That employee is Stephen Verrett, who police arrested this week at his second job. He's now charged with forgery and identity fraud, adding up to $800,000, prompting him to be fired from Navy Federal in February, according to Sergeant Jane Edenfield.
15 what were warrants that became charges off of one bank account, and then there's 7 other bank accounts. So we're having to work it by account and what happened. Because like this one, it was checks. There's a couple other accounts where vehicle loans were opened, but there was no vehicle. Like somebody legitimately has the vehicle and they're driving it, but they got the money for the vehicle. Well, that's one of the other accounts. This arrest was the very tip of the iceberg.
Police say additional charges for Verrett and arrest of co-conspirators are pending.
Be multiple arrest warrants for multiple people per those 8-9 accounts. So, I mean, it's, I don't know, that's going to be 15 arrest warrants per account.
And Sergeant Edenfield tells me that during the arrest Tuesday for Verrett, he was telling police that he's innocent. He's scheduled for a preliminary hearing in Columbus Recorder's Court this Friday at 9 a.m.
The investigation into a financial fraud scam at the Columbus Navy Federal Credit Union branch continues to widen.
New details of the Columbus police investigation were revealed as a third suspect appeared in Recorder's Court this afternoon. WRBL's Chuck Williams was in the courtroom and has been following this case since the first arrest back in late May. Chuck rejoins us with the details.
Teresa Field, Columbus police say this investigation continues and will continue into the foreseeable future, and they assure WRBL additional arrests and charges are coming. 40-year-old Curtis Davis is accused of working with Stephen Verrett, an employee at Navy Federal Credit Union at the time, to steal more than $120,000. Verrett was arrested back in late May, and police say he was at the center of this alleged scam, working from the inside out. Police say Davis deposited 2 checks into an account belonging to Christopher Upshaw. Upshaw is currently in federal prison after an assault on an FBI agent. Funds were later withdrawn from Upshaw's account through cashier's checks, ATM withdrawals, and counter cash withdrawals. Police say Davis ended up with that money. Davis was held without bond. He is currently out on bond in a credit fraud case.
It's kind of like peeling an onion, you know. It's we think we know where we're headed, and then we peel a layer of an onion, and then it's something else. We get something hangs on the left. Right now, what we're looking at, I mean, Mr. Verrett's at the top. You know, that may not be the case when we get to the end of this. So.
They got checks going here and there to different people, different companies, and they've made a case against some other people. One of them who works at the credit union, and apparently, from what I can find out, this is the person that is doing all this, and he's got various people to help him in different ways. And I've only had this case 2 days, so I'm trying to figure out what's going on.
Teresa Field, this developing case is unusual on multiple levels, but consider the entire time money was moving through Christopher Upshaw's Navy Federal Bank account, he was in jail or prison. Back to you guys.
Where a former credit union employee is facing fraud charges after depositing counterfeit checks worth more than $800,000 for himself and others. The Columbus Police Department began investigating Stephen Verrett back in February of this year. CPD says Verrett used customers at his desk as a cover while depositing counterfeit checks and opened fraudulent vehicle loans. 5 of the checks he processed were reported stolen from the U.S. mail. Verrett was arrested on Tuesday. He was taken to Muskogee County Jail and is charged with the following: 5 counts of third-degree forgery, 3 counts of identity fraud, financial transaction card forgery, computer invasion of privacy, and additional charges are also pending. Police expect further arrests in connection to this fraud investigation. Verrett will appear in court at 9 a.m. Friday morning. Turning
to the latest details on the Navy Federal Credit Union fraud case in Columbus that involved hundreds of thousands of dollars. So far, 3 men have been arrested, but the Columbus Police Department says they're only the tip of the iceberg. News Here Tonight's Gabriella Johnson explains.
It's kind of like peeling an onion. It's every time we peel a layer, something else pops up.
Columbus Police Property Crimes Unit is continuing to peel layers off of an ongoing investigation involving fraudulent activity at the Navy Federal Credit Union on Veterans Parkway in Columbus. So far, Stephen Verrett, Demetrius Redding, and most recently Curtis Davis have been arrested. But police say this isn't it.
Not 10 more and not 1 more, but we've got probably a handful more coming.
Davis, the third suspect, pleading not guilty in court Thursday. His attorney, Mike Garner, says he has only had 2 days to review his client's case.
He's accused of cashing one of the checks, and that's pretty much his role in it, was helping somebody else, according to what the police say.
Police say Davis reportedly got cash from Verrett on multiple occasions.
This situation, Mr. Davis was able to walk out of the bank with $122,000. As soon as they deposited the checks, they would either get cashier checks from Navy Fed or they would get actual cash. And we can see on video surveillance money envelopes, him putting in his pocket and then walking out the door.
But Garner says evidence is slim.
Just know that the evidence against him is very slight. And that's why apparently they've waited this long to make a case against him.
Police say the latest in this investigation came from those 2 checks deposited into the account of Christopher Upshaw, someone in federal prison, and another account belonging to Jermaine Thurkkild Jr., who is deceased.
Mr. Davis, they were depositing checks into Mr. Upshaw's account. Jermaine Thurkield was a similar situation. His account was being used to deposit checks, withdraw cash, things like that. And all of that fraudulent activity in Mr. Thurkield's account happened after he was deceased. Mr. Upshaw is in federal prison for shooting at an FBI agent, so he can't consent.
Investigators say they will continue to peel back the layers of this onion and are certain that will mean more arrests in the days ahead.
That was Gabriella John.
You guys, I know a lot of us YouTubers talk about Navy Fed and how nice this company is and how much money you can get from them, but this is absolutely not my angle for this channel. It's a shame that this person went from qualifying to work for a federal bank to now being or going to be incarcerated on a federal level. Don't let greed, don't let you not being where you want to be in life take you to this point. It's just a shame. I will no longer be doing any videos on Navy Fed for this very reason, because I don't want to attract anything negative. That bank has been really, really great to me on a personal level and a business level. Just cross your T's, dot your I's, and take the stairs, you guys. There is no shortcut to success. It's not. What I'm seeing is, because I sowed seeds in a business in 2012. My first business started in 2012. I had a lot of trial and error. I would rather for you to buy some people's legitimate course, because not everyone offer a legitimate course, and learn how to generate a legitimate income for you and your family. Imagine these men having children, because I'm almost sure all three of them may have children and wives or girlfriends that will not have that income anymore, that will not have those three men present in the homes because they did something, that could have been avoided. So I'm going to get off my soapbox. This video is 12 minutes long. I'm wishing everyone the best. Stay fearless. Take the steps, you guys. You learn a lot about yourself when you take the stairs. I'm wishing the best for everybody in this situation. Have a good one. Until next time, again, stay fearless. And thank you so much for subscribing and watching. Bye.